There are 8 planets in our solar system. Several dwarf planets, more than 200 moons, too. But hold on. Do you have double vision? Or did every planet overnight get a twin? System of the Sun has 3 different planet kinds: gaseous, cold, and rocky. After the birth of our Sun, all of these formed from a gas and dust-filled rotating disk. Hello and welcome to KYC News. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. As the solar system's temperature increased, the interior areas were just as 3,140 degrees Fahrenheit or 1,730 degrees Celsius hot. And only those things that substantial melting points like silicon, magnesium, and iron could continue to hold. This was followed by our rough, Earth-like worlds, Earth, Venus, Mercury, and Mars. Outside, the air was as chilly as minus 225 degrees Celsius, minus 370 degrees Fahrenheit. The farthest planets are thus analogous. Saturn and Jupiter attracted enormous numbers of helium and hydrogen. Then after that, Neptune and Uranus were created from water and methane. These planets all developed in the ideal location with favorable circumstances for what they now are, particularly Earth. However, what if? Given that anything is possible, additionally, we'll increase the solar system's planet, but we'll also line up these planets are identical in the opposite sequence. What might possibly fail? I am aware that Pluto is no longer a planet, diminished to a dwarf the planet in 2006. However, for the sake of this example, Pluto is going to return. Just not this time. Instead of developing from the periphery of the solar system, it would revolve. Risky proximity to the Sun. Pluto's first appearance was about the size of our Moon by 2/3. However, Pluto's twin would be considerably smaller. Due of its proximity to the Sun, its water ice mantle would melt away, leaving only a tiny rocky core remained. Mercury would come next, in its customary first from Sun position. But not this time. On the complete contrary, the orbital path side, the twin would then connect to it. Version of Neptune, the icy giant. As I now turn to face Neptune's twin, you wouldn't even recognize it. Gases would rip from the Sunday outside of its environment and draw them towards the direction of the star. Yes, it appears that ice will be placed. Giant standing close to the Sun is a pretty poor choice. What were you contemplating? In time, Neptune might be at risk of losing its vibe as a whole. Currently, you definitely wouldn't see this occur during night. Perhaps if you established the largest time-lapse in the world, you could watch this happen in the following 10 million years. Venus is frequently mentioned, being the planet of love, which would be more thrilling now, supposing that you could see it circle the Sun dancing with a new partner, twin of Uranus. This collaboration would be relatively peaceful for them both, and little would change for either. But I must caution you, planetary neighborhood of Earth could turn foul, all owing to the atmosphere of Uranus that conveys the scent anywhere it goes, farts. The twin of Uranus would be a fantastic location for a brief visit, especially if you wanted to get wealthy. You can become entangled in one of its rainstorms with diamonds and gather some jewelry. It was created. The atmosphere is greatly pressure-filled setting. Just remember to bring your spacesuit. The Earth's orbit comes next. You could observe the darkness sky from anywhere in the world and observe the show that is the identical Saturn. You would also be treated well. Stunning vista of the planet's yellow storm clouds moving around. In addition, 62 moons or more are beaming down on you. Just because it would be, however, collaborating with us in the habitable zone not implied that this gas behemoth would be capable of sustaining life. Saturn's twin continued to refuse. Have a stable foundation. and extremely rapid winds would whip a planet's upper atmosphere with a top speed of 1,800 kilometers per hour, 1,100 miles per hour. The difficulty is that as you take in the spectacle, the gravity of this twin would begin tearing away our world. Its moons may also be set on a track to collide with us. This planetary configuration is probably random. Would end all earthly life. Okay, I'll stop with the negatives. Let's discuss Mars. The planet Mars would be matched with the globe, which is whether the notorious Great Red Spot. Yes, you guessed correctly, Jupiter's twin is approximately to enter this gathering uninvited. A replica of the biggest planet at the solar system level would be situated right on the brink of the habitation zone of the Sun. That, however, wouldn't imply that the twin of Jupiter might harbor life. It would continue to be gas-based, without a firm foundation. However, being so close to Mars might lead to Mars becoming a lush, livable planet. The desert on Mars is arid, void of liquid water, almost no atmosphere. Well, a lot of credit goes to the if its magnetic field vanished, which previously held its ambience collectively. This probably occurred when Mars was pounded by asteroids in the beginning. If, however, Jupiter's twin and its powerful gravitational pull were present at the time, it might have been able to save Mars. Those asteroid collisions caused. Mars may then have maintained its atmosphere, and perhaps life would still exist there now. Or perhaps this larger of the two twins, the solar system's planet, would even have sent another asteroid heading for Mars, possibly even directly at Earth. It follows that life probably wouldn't even stand a chance of forming. Let's go on to the other side of our asteroid belt of the solar system. All of these pairs would be repeated. Taking the original Jupiter as an example and Mars' identical twin, the situation would largely remain unchanged. Still massive and gaseous, Jupiter-Mars would be freezing, but lifeless and parched. There would then be Earth 2.0. Currently orbiting Saturn together, you would discover Earth's twin well outside the habitable area of the Sun. You would only receive 1% as much sunlight here. When you get home, observed from space, Earth 2.0 would resemble a freezing tundra, a globe in the shape of a snowball. Most of the oceans would freeze over. However, that wouldn't imply that areas of life couldn't continue to exist beneath the ice. In the ocean's depths, hydrothermal vents nearby, there might be sufficient heat to support life. The water's tidal movement may transfer that geothermal heat, allowing some of it to continue to be liquid. Venus twin is the next item on the list. Immediately next to Uranus, as well as 27 times farther away from the Sun than it is right now. Its temperatures would decrease as a result of this. The primary Venus was renowned for its surface temperatures are really heated. That may reach 475 degrees Celsius or 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite being so far from the Sun, the twin Venusian might yet hold a small amount of warmth. However, you couldn't not yet make the move there. It would have a thick atmosphere, containing deadly levels of carbon acid and carbon dioxide. Then you would need to terraform it. Finally making it outside the solar system's periphery, Mercury's twin would be seen circling the Sun in Neptune's orbital path. Even if the initial Mercury's second hottest planet, this planet would resemble an icy rock. It would also appear unsettling, comparable to the Moon. Okay, that concludes our journey by way of this crowded rendition within the solar system. But I'm curious how things would appear if only everything was a little closer together, as if each planet were within the Sun's hospitable region. That's a tale for another what if, I suppose. Thanks for watching and see you on next video.